Welcome, everybody, to episode 221 of the effing title. I am unmuted this week, and I am Big Husky, and this is DeNutte. Oh, shit.
Nothing will beat that.
Yeah, right? So, like I said, unmuted this week, so there should be no problems.
If you had heard it, you would have known it was a good podcast back.
Yes, it was. But instead, you guys get the version of me just talking and then the version of DeNutte just talking. So, put them together. But that was last week. This is this week. DeNutte, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling better than I did last week. So
that's awesome. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Selfless plug. Glitch Energy. They
They're not on sale anymore. They sold out.
They sold out of my shaker, but they are coming out with a greens mix.
I did get an email about that. Yep. What's that?
It's going to be, I should be getting it within the next week or so, I think.
Okay. Is it like a superfood greens mix thing?
Exactly. It's like one of the the typical healthy food things, but it's done by Glitch. So, a good exciting thing for gamers.
Because literally I was trying to open it, and then it wouldn't open.
Yeah, it does that sometimes, unfortunately. Well, yeah, no, it's supposed to be healthy for us. Supposed to get us our daily
it's right here.
Daily serving of fruits and veggies in, because we don't get that. I think it's kind of a cool idea, cool direction. It'd be interesting to try out. It looks
for a good year, every morning I'd start with one of those, and it was real gross, and I hated it. But I still was like, I'm healthy. And actually, I lost a lot of weight while I was doing it. That was probably the lightest I'd ever been.
And that's the thing is, it's supposed to be cherry limeade flavored, and even though it looks like pond water, apparently it doesn't taste like pond water. So
it tastes like pond water. The one I had.
Yeah, this one apparently doesn't. So.
Okay. It smelled like pond water, too.
Oh, yeah, good old bong water. But, yeah, no, so I'm excited to try it when it comes in. But, this week, on the title, the effing title, we have, as you can see right above us, it's MagicCon weekend, baby!
MCG. MCC.
I have no idea what the actual, thing is. Is it MCC? Okay, it's in Chicago this year. Oh, it starts in Chicago. So it's in Chicago this year. So obviously,
Chicago.
Obviously, we aren't there. Obviously, we are there. So
no, not Chicago.
So what they normally do is they normally have the big one. The big one was on Friday because that's when they talked about previews, which is what we're gonna go over here in a minute. And then yesterday was some tournaments and some gaming and stuff, and today's more tournaments and gaming. Apparently, I saw a TikTok this morning that said they ran out of tables, and they ran out of tickets for Commander. So,
ooh, very cool.
Yeah, so they're kind of
I'm looking. Yeah, there's a lot of tables. I need to get more pictures of, I was just saying, Husky before we started. I'm going to PAX again this year, PAX East. I got to pick up pictures of the tables because that place is crazy, and the way it fills up is crazy.
So, but that being said, let's see if this works. There we go. So we're going to be looking at the previews. So we got the nice little preview panel thing here, showing off the 4 things that they are showing us this year, because they only showed us 4 things. So we have Outlaws of Thunder Junction. We have
we got a preview last convention.
Yep. Bloomburrow, which we got a little bit of a preview of, but not massively. Finally getting a look at the Assassin's Creed stuff.
Is that the pre-con you ordered?
No, the pre-con I ordered is from the Bloomburrow one.
Oh, okay.
And
you told me which one it was.
Then Modern Horizons 3, which apparently is going to be very Commander heavy. And they're bringing back, as you can see right here, they're bringing back one of the big boys. So, yeah, it's I've already seen all this. I was looking through it. This is very interesting. I'm going to word it like that. Very interesting preview panel. I know if you've seen much DeNutte or not, but very interesting. So, let's see if this works correctly. Boom. Hopefully that changed. Did it change?
Oh, yeah.
It changed? Boom.
Looking good.
2024, baby. These are the next 4 sets. This is what we're talking about. This is the previews that we're doing. The funny thing is, though, is that the order that they're shown, we're doing it backwards. Because that's the way that they did it. Don't know why, but that's the way they did it.
They're like, hey, the newest one, we're going to tell you about that last.
Yeah. So Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Modern Horizons 3, Universes Beyond, Assassin's Creed, and Bloomburrow. The other big news that we found out is that this is kind of a crazy one. I don't know if you heard this. Universes Beyond, they're doing 2 big sets a year now.
Okay. No, yeah, they talked about that because it's this year. It's Assassin's Creed and Fallout.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking big sets like Lord of the Rings. Big sets.
Oh, no shit.
Yep, because apparently the Lord of the Rings set did so well and sold so much more than any other product that they did. They're like, oh, it's because of the Universes Beyond thing, so we're going to do more shit like that.
It's because of Lord of the Rings, but it's okay.
And we've talked about this, that we don't know if there's enough for them to do that with.
No.
So,
or what would they do?
I mean, the next big one is Marvel, right?
Yeah, but is Disney going to license it out to that?
They already have, because they've already announced it. Like, it's happening. It's just
they did?
Yeah, we're getting a Marvel Magic set, and apparently it's going to be 3 big sets, but it's going to be over like 5 years, like 5-6 years. Like every other year we're getting one. But like still, like what other Lord of the Rings, Marvel? What, are we going to go fucking DC next?
We're going Lorcana.
Right? Well, that's the other thing is like you have Lorcana, which is technically Disney, so you're not going to get any of that property. Probably not going to get much for anime because Weiss Schwartz has a pretty good hold on that. Dragon Ball Z has a good hold on that.
I was about to say it'd be cool if they had Dragon Ball Z. I actually just ordered Dragon Ball Z stuff right before we started.
That's awesome.
I ordered wrist wraps for the gym.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Do they have the Dragon Ball on them?
They don't. It's got a Nimbus cloud on the tab, but then it's like a bunch of different, like it has Goku and shit on it.
Okay. Yes, that's the big news though that's come out recently is that they're going to be doing massive sets for Universe Beyond, which is like I said interesting, but I don't know if we really want that because eventually it's going to get
longevity to that.
I like the idea of like if they did like every other year doing one big set and then doing like 2 or 3 mini sets like they're doing Fallout with Assassin's Creed, then fine, you know. But like even this Assassin's Creed set you'll see in a little bit here once we get to it is not like Fallout. Fallout is just a commander with collector boosters. This is a mini set like Aftermath. You know, the set that did really poorly and no one liked. That's what this is. So, but before we get into that, though, we're going straight to Bloomburrow, though, like I said. So apparently Bloomburrow is the first of its kind where there are no humans.
Nothing.
No it's all animals, baby. It's all anthropomorphic, cute animals, and brings it to magic. No humans, only animals on this plane. So this set, obviously, for me is beautiful because I love it. I'm a big squirrel guy, big rat guy, you know. And we get a little bit of everything here. So this is the first image we get, which is like I saw this and I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Creatures assemble.
Right, that's what it looked like to me.
Do you ever play any like Oculus games?
No.
There's like this one where you play as almost play as God, but you control this rat, and you like are going over like a battlefield as a rat. This picture reminds me of that, and I can't remember the name of the game right now. It's really good though.
So it says Roy dives into Bloomburrow's story, inspired by animal-focused fantasy with brave woodland creatures venturing out into the dangerous, wider world. Which, if you see it, yeah, it looks like D&D almost. Like you can kind of see there's like a paladin, there's a knight, there's an archer, there's a wizard, right?
Moss was the name of that game I was talking about.
Moss, okay. I mean, like you look at this. We got a badger, a frog, a mouse, which apparently the mice are like the humans of this world. Apparently, they said.
Okay.
A lizard, a bat, and then a rabbit. So I mean, it looks cool. I mean, there's that. This is the three tree city.
That would be a really cool playmat.
Right? Oh wow! Actually, yeah, no, that would be a wicked cool playmat. I'm assuming this is going to be either a land, like a fancy legendary land, or it's going to be.
Or is that the titular Bloomburrow itself?
Yes. So, and then we get this one, which is Repel Calamity.
See, that's like Moss right there. That's literally like.
Well, and I like this because this is the image that they've shown us last year. As part of the promotional stuff, but now we get a little bit more info on it because apparently
I love the cape is a leaf. That's awesome.
I just noticed that. Holy, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, this set's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna love this set so. Like, this set is gonna take so much money from me.
Is that the one that's coming out first?
No, this is the last one. This is the one that's coming out in like August.
Okay.
So I got time to save because there's a chance. I'm not gonna say fully. There's a chance your boy buys a collector booster. Like box.
Collector booster?
Like the box. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm already buying. Like I'm already getting the bundle, a collector booster, and a precon from this. I might buy a collector booster box. Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bought I bought 3 Fallout boosters just to be like, let's see.
Okay, I dig it. I bought one. Just.
I think it was 27.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. That's not bad for collector booster. It feels
Well,
like
now we say that now after Lord of the Rings happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, after the Lord of the Rings, 35 if we're
15.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cool thing that I like about this one, though, is that it shows kind of the threat without it showing the threat. So the threats to Bloomburrow are the elemental calamity beasts, which are the predators of the world. Maha is one of the beasts, and they have been on a rampage. So this isn't Maha, but still elemental beast, and it's a predator. So it makes you think, okay, so predator, prey sort of thing, right? So this, though, this is Maha. And it looks
Ori?
sick. It looks like an Ori bird. Yeah, dude. Like it's
Sorry, I had to throw it out.
yeah, no, it looks awesome though. I love it.
I love the art style.
Exactly. So I really like the idea that like it's the majority of the characters we're gonna get in this set are going to be kind of like, the innocent animals, but then the calamity beasts or the threats to the world are the actual prey. So like we saw the wolf, we saw the owl, or later on we'll see a bear, right?
Yeah.
And so on. Then we get to this one. We get to Glarb, Calamity's augur, Augar, augur. It's the Glarb, king of the frog folk, and a powerful wizard who might have insights into what's going on with calamity beasts. Right. So we got frog folk in this set. So we go frog folk, and then we get to the main character of the set apparently, who is Mabel, heir to the Cragflame. Cragflame. The homie looks dope. This is the set's protagonist in the story. Already messing up. She is a mother of 3 mouselings and heir to the storied sword, the Cragflame. Which is interesting that I read it like that now because I didn't think I saw something later, which we'll see here in a second. Then we get to look at like the little bit of their party that she has adventuring on. We got Gev, the Scaled Scorch, Lizard Homie, Hugs, the Grizzly Guardian, Phineas, the Ace Archer, which I love the fact that I'm noticing it now. There's an acorn at the end of the arrow. And then Zoraline, the Cosmos Caller.
That one they showed the last one last.
Yes, I do believe so. And then this is the interesting one. We get Rail, Crackling Wit, which says Roy says joining them is a fan favorite character, but not in a form you might recognize. So Rail Zarek, I think his name was a Ravnica planeswalker.
Okay.
And now it's him, but he's an otter version. Yeah, it's an otter version. So it's interesting. Like, is this Rail? Because I think I'm saying Rail is probably Ral. I think he died. In quotations, maybe. Don't fully remember. Some of the lore I'm still really bad with, so if I'm wrong...
You're way better than I am,
yeah.
so...
I'm wondering if this is another version of him, or if this is him. You know what I mean? Because it says it's a fan favorite, but not in the form you might recognize. So it's like... But that's just concept art. Now we actually get to look at some of the actual cards already. So here's Mabel. Heir to the Cragflame. 1 colorless, a red, and a white.
Oh, Cragflame's the dagger. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 3/3. Other mice you control get +1/+1. So the interesting thing about this is it's a legendary creature, but it's a mouse soldier, but then it says other mice.
So you gotta build that mice deck, dog.
Got it. I guess I'm going mice now. When it enters the battlefield, I get to create Cragflame. It's a legendary colorless equipment artifact token. That's the interesting thing. It's a token. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, vigilance, trample, and haste. It's kind of a nasty card, really. So basically, on the next turn, Mabel becomes a 4/4 with vigilance, trample, and haste. If you have enough lands so you can equip it, then dope. Let's see here. It says here, for now, this Mabel is, and the token she creates. Mark highlights she is a mouse, and that Bloomburrow is a kindred focused set with a number of animal folk creature types. He highlights that each of the color pairs are focused on different creature types in Bloomburrow. Red and white is mice. So we're kind of getting almost like a Ravnica, an old school Ravnica where we have like Boros and all that. But then also, what was the other one I'm thinking of? Tarkir kind of did the same thing. But now we're getting 2 different color types, and each color type is a different thing. Then we get a little look at this treatments that we're getting. The treatments look sick. Just gonna say it. The showcase treatment looks sick. And then we're getting really cool. A borderless raised foil anime treatment, too. Which the anime treatments are a new one, and they've been really good looking. But I really like the woodland showcase ones that we have. And then we get into Lumara, Bellow of the Woods. And it says, remember we talked about predators? Well, here is. Then talks about how the smaller creatures are the normal size on Bloomburrow, and these are massive. 4 colorless, 2 green, elemental bear. Vigilance and reach, and its power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. When it enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. Then return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
It is funny because it's like if those are like the human characters, like the mice, and then like their enemies are just like other, like a bear, a wolf. You know, it's like us, like against a kaiju. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. The other thing as well, I don't know if you noticed it, is that the symbol for the set is like a maple leaf.
Oh, I can see it. It's like kind of blurry for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder if I can. Yeah, right there. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Like I like that. I like that too. It's a nice little touch. Yeah. So I mean, like right off rip, this is the first elemental creature we're getting, which is one. I'm assuming this is gonna be one of the calamity beasts, and it's like you can see that it's strong, right? Then yet again, more treatments.
Oh, yes, that middle one.
Yeah, like I said, the treatments in this set. Chef's kiss. Boardless field notes, and that's the thing is like so that's why I think like it's maybe the calamity beasts are gonna have field notes treatments where the other ones are gonna have just like the woodlands sort of treatments. So then we get there's the look of those. Then we get this, which is really kind of cool. So full art lands, right?
Yeah.
The cool thing with this though is that they're seasonal full art lands. So for every single color, there will be 4 full art lands. For spring, summer, autumn, and winter.
That's very cool.
That's dope, right? Because like you look at the front part, and the front part is all the same, but it's just a little bit of the like. If I can zoom in here, so you guys can see a little bit better. Right? You can see like it's just all a little bit of different aspects of it, where it's just, you know, it's so yet again another very very small thing they did, very cool thing. Then they just did this one. It's Jace. That's Jace's cloak. But they just this was the tweet. It was this. It was thinking emoji and that's it. That's all they did. Boom. That's the last thing of the Bloomburrow set.
So another Planeswalker.
Yes. So like I said, Bloomburrow I think looks awesome.
Yeah. I will buy stuff from that for sure.
Yeah. It seems like a good set. Obviously, it's a ways away, so we're going to learn more as the year goes on. But as of right now, I'm a big creature type guy, as I was saying earlier. I love my rat deck. I love my squirrel deck. I like building around creature types.
I had this card in front of me, like another anime card.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So I'm big with creature types. I have a bird deck that I'm working on for a commander deck. So like this being just purely animal based to me, and like them fully diving into it, I'm like, I'm in.
This is just making me like I've been talking with my girlfriend about like we haven't been playing it all, and I'm like, this is making me want to break out my cards and start going through decks and like getting stuff ready. And I'm like, man, I haven't been out of it. Now I'm like,
well, it's funny how, and it's one of those things that I feel like not most card games, but Magic does decently okay. But they'll do sets that just it doesn't matter. Like you don't care. And then every now and then something like this happens. It's just like, I'm back in, baby. We're back in. Speaking of back in, this is another one that would get you back in. Is right here. It's the Universe Beyond. It's Assassin's Creed.
About it.
So, okay. So, what are your mixed feelings? Before we get into it, that's.
I've always had mixed feelings about Assassin's Creed. Like, like I wasn't a huge fan. I like Assassin's Creed 1, amazing. When that came out, oh my god, like that was like a new thing. It's new IP, very awesome. Assassin's Creed 2, didn't care for. And then the two spawning games from that, Brotherhood and I can't remember the other one.
Revelations.
Hated them.
Yeah.
I finished Brotherhood, Revelations. I started it, I went trash. I stopped playing it because I hated it. So, but 3 I think is one of my favorites, and 3 gets a lot of flack. But I'm like, yo, it's like literally the Revolutionary War. That's like a cool time period.
The one that sucks for me with that was this was before they had a fix like for it, but there was a glitch at one point where you had to like sneak into like the base, like very early in the game, and if you did one thing wrong before that spot, you would get a glitch where you physically couldn't do it. So I was stuck on that one glitch for like a month. And I just physically,
why can't I finish it?
I physically couldn't finish the game. Like, I couldn't get past that point. So I like maybe got 10-15% of that game played, and that's it.
Okay.
So,
I remember just like everyone kept saying that like that main character was whiny, and I'm like, okay, you've never played Assassin's Creed 2 then.
Yeah.
Ezio was like the whiniest. Yeah.
I feel like they're all whiny.
They're all whiny because they're all like, one of them are all like rich, spoiled kids, and like he wasn't. He was just like from a tribe. So I don't know. It just was like, anyways. And then 4 was like, I think their peak, and I think most people can agree with that.
Yeah, Black Flag. I think is where fucking everybody.
Yeah, and then after that, it kind of
very roller coastery. They tried to do. I feel like they tried to always do more.
Yeah.
And then it was just like the more that they did, sometimes it didn't work, and then sometimes it did work. And then like that's the funny thing that I found with Mirage is the Mirage comes out, and Mirage they're like, we're not doing more, we're going back to the basics.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a stealth game, and everyone's like, well, why can't I parkour? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? And it's like they just said it. They're going back to the basics. Like what? You know, I should be able to do this because they did it in this one. It's like you're dumb. You're dumb. Just shut up. So I have mixed feelings about this too, but I will say just from looking at some of the cards already.
Yeah, I know nothing about the cards. That's why I'm like,
first concept art we have is Eve.
Yeah.
Eve Fry from Syndicate, right? Edward Kenway. So Kenway's in it, so you know it's gonna gotta get Kenway. Ivor.
Yeah.
Is in there. The interesting thing with this though is it's always the female version. So I don't know if that's a decision that they have made, or if we will be getting, or if there'll be two different versions that are the male and the female version. Because that was always the big thing with that one. You know. But still, so there's that. And then
did you play as a male or a female?
I did male.
Okay, so I did male too.
Yeah. And then the first thing we had to look at, obviously, the first thing they show is the Animus, which is pretty cool. 2-drop legendary artifact at the beginning of your end step. Exile up to 1 target legendary creature card from a graveyard with a memory counter on it. Tap the Animus. Until your next turn, target legendary creature you control becomes a copy of target creature in exile with a memory counter on it. Activate as only a sorcery. Kind of cool. You can literally just throw stuff in the graveyard, exile it, and then the next thing you know, if you have a legendary creature, you can just now make a copy of it. That's kind of cool. I feel like there's going to be a lot of decks that will revolve around that, and they'll have this as a combo. And I can only imagine the stupid shit that's going to come off of this. Combo-based, right? Because it's only, until your next turn. So it's a one-turn thing.
Yeah.
Hidden Blade. Obviously, we're going to be getting the Hidden Blade. This is actually one that I really thought was really kind of cool. So it's a 2-drop artifact equipment with flash. So right off bat, you can play it anytime. When enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. So there's the flash aspect of it. You can just throw it right onto a creature. If the creature is an assassin, it gains Death Touch. A creature gets +1/+0 and has first strike. So nothing really too over the top with it.
No, it's assigning new. It's assigning the same things to new classes.
Yeah, it makes sense for the Hidden Blade. Like if you were to thinking about how to put a Hidden Blade into Magic. That's it. It makes sense. I like it. I think it's going to be a solid little card. Then we get the first look at one of the characters. So the first two previews we're going to get. First off, we get Ezio
Cool card. Cool
Altore
card.
de Freze. Yeah, I think the treatment on these are insane. It doesn't look like a magic card. One colorless green, one colorless and black. Legendary creature, human assassin. It's a 3/2 with menace. Assassin spells you cast have free running. 2 black. We'll get into free running later because that actually shows us what it actually like reads it on the card. But this is the crazy one. When Ezio deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 1 of everything. If that player has 10 or less life, when you do, they lose the game.
Okay. I pay, you lose.
Dude, for a 2-drop?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Ezio, though, and then we get Altair, which is one red, white, black, 3/3, first strike. Whenever Ezio attacks, exile up to 1 target assassin creature card from your graveyard with a memory counter on it. Then for each creature card you own in exile with a memory counter on it, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of it. Exile those tokens at the end of combat. Kinda nasty.
Mm-hmm. How are memory tokens created?
I'm assuming it's like a counter, just like
it gets created when you activate it.
Yeah, because it says whenever Altair attacks, exile up to one target assassin creature card from your graveyard with a memory counter on it. So it sounds like as you exile it, you are now putting a memory counter on it.
Okay.
So on that step, that's why you would be doing it. It's kind of the same thing. I feel like it was almost the same wording when we were reading over the Animus as well.
Yeah.
But still, the memory counter thing, very interesting. Like moving cards in exile. I dig it. Then we get some cards here. These are just not reprints, but they're just other. I think they're old. They might be old. I'm not sure about Cover of Darkness. That's the only one I wasn't sure about. But I know the other two are Temporal Trespass, Sword of Feast of Famine. And then we get Cover Darkness. And those says here, it's a good place for some exciting and thematic reprints. So yes, they're all reprints. So we are going to be getting reprints. I'll boost this up. I don't know how it looks when I boost them up. But Temporal Trespass right there. It looks solid. It's just the take another turn. Take an extra turn after this one. Then we get Cover of Darkness. Choose a creature type. Creature of the chosen type gain fear. Fear means they can't be blocked except by artifacts or black creatures. And then Sword of Feast of Famine. So, which is artifact for 3. A critical creature gets +2/+2. Has protection from black and from green. Whenever a critical creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card and you untap all lands you control. So obviously they were going to bring back some. They were going to do some reprints for this set. We kind of assumed that, right? Pretty solid.
It's hard to come up with like a completely new set for every.
Exactly. Like it's one of those things. Like with this being a quote unquote mini set as well.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a cool thing. We're doing serialized cards for collector boosters. So they're going to be of some of the more famous people in it, like Leonardo da Vinci here. So Leonardo da Vinci is 2 colors, a blue, human artificer, 3/3. Tap 3 and 2 blue. Until end of turn, Thopters you control have a base power and toughness of XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand.
That's... Oh, Dune. They could do Dune.
Ooh.
Universe Beyond.
They could do Dune.
Thopters. Sorry.
Dude, that would be sick. Yeah. Thopters are getting a lot of love right now as well. And that right there, because that just says Thopters. That doesn't say like a Thopter. It just says Thopters you control. So if you get one of those, if you can get a deck where you have no hand size and you can get 15 or so cards in your hand, suddenly all your Thopters are 15/15s. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
Tap 2 and 1. Tap 2 colors, 1 blue. Tap Da Vinci. Draw a card, then discard a card. If the discarded card was an artifact card, exile it from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's an O2 Thopter. So, yeah, Da Vinci, kind of nasty. Mm-hmm. And also, this version here, the serialized version, is in French. Was Da Vinci French? Italian?
He's Italian.
Italian? Okay. I don't know why I said French.
Da Vinci.
But, yeah, so, like, yeah, so the card's in French. Or Italian. Jesus. I don't know why I'm saying French right now so much. It's in Italian, it looks like. So that's kind of cool. And it's serialized. And then the other big one that we get is Cleopatra, the exiled pharaoh.
Ooh.
Yeah. 2 colors, black and green. 2
Was she in Origins?
Yes. I didn't play those two. I didn't play the
you
two.
play those
I
two?
didn't. I didn't play the two O's. I didn't play Origins or Odyssey.
Very good. Way too much.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard. That's why I didn't.
It's like Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Yeah, I was thinking I was almost said Valheim. Yeah, Valhalla. It's like Valhalla. Yeah.
So allies, the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 other target legendary creatures. Betrayal. Whenever a legendary creature with counters on it dies, draw a card for each counter on it, and then you lose 2 life. And yeah, right here it says, serialized versions of these are numbered to 500 and are only in their respected historical language. So as you can see here with the Cleopatra one, very cool. Very freaking cool.
That's Greek.
So, love that. Ezio Auditore, so here's the other version of it. This is the Rome Vista Scene version of the card. And then the cool thing here, they're doing a starter kit for this.
Oh, like the cheap starter set?
Mm-hmm. So this is one of the ones that I pre-ordered. So these are the 2 face cards from it. So you got Ezio and you got Ivar.
Those little starter sets are pretty cool.
They are. And like this thing is like I bought the Lord of the Rings one. Mainly because I think you told me that I should, and John told me that I should. I did it, made a video for it. It's on here. It's on the channel. Just like, is this a good starter kit for someone? Like, if someone wants to get into the game, wants to learn likes Lord of the Rings, is it a good one? And it was. So I'm very excited to see this because this is a set like what we've said. Assassin's Creed
Those are the only 2 standard decks I have right now. I have them both in one case.
Yeah.
So different color sleeves. So like, if you want to play, just pull out the 2 and ready to go.
Lord of the Rings, I feel like universally is loved basically by everybody. Assassin's Creed, like we said, it kind of has an up and down history, so it'll be interesting to see how these starter kits kind of feel. In my opinion.
I don't think anyone hates Assassin's Creed though. I don't know. Like I know that people have been unhappy with it, but I don't know anyone who's like those games suck.
Yes, exactly. So Ezio 3. So it's kind of cool. Both of these, when this is one of the things that they are all kind of the same card. Which is interesting because it makes me wonder if all the assassins if there will be a version of the assassins that are all kind of the same. So Ezio, Blade of Vengeance, 3 colorless, blue, black. Death Touch, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, and it's a 5/5. Okay? Ivar, Battle Ready, 3 colorless, a red and a white, 5/5 Vigilance with haste. Whenever it attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipments you control to each opponent. So it's like they both cost 5. They're both 5/5s. They both have flavor texts, and then they both have whenever they deal damage to something or whenever they attack. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a theme that we'll see later with that, to an extent.
There's a lot of equipment themes and all little toys.
And speaking of toys, the fun one, we got the haystack.
Oh, I like that.
So the haystack is 1 colorless, 1 white. It's an artifact, just straight up artifact. Tap 2, phase target creature you control out.
Okay.
It's just kind of a sick little card, but that's going to be nasty, though. Like, that's going to be such a nasty little card. Just, cool, I'm just going to phase it out. Oh, okay, phase it out. Oh, all right, phase it out. And then we get a look here at some of the actual, like, this is the products.
Oh, I like that.
So,
like the white?
Yep, so we're getting a lot from this one as well. So this is one of the new, quote-unquote, mini-sets. It's almost like March of the Machines Aftermath, which did very poorly. So they changed it a little bit. So we're getting Beyond Boosters. This is going to be a new thing that will start happening from this set onwards. So if you don't want to buy the Commander decks, which we've talked about this before, and you don't want to buy the Collector Boosters, just to hopefully get some of the treatments, you can buy the Beyond Boosters to just get some of the basic cards.
Okay.
Which I think is an interesting idea. The problem is...
I don't think they will do very well, but
I don't think they will either, because this is still the same as everything else, even though you get less cards. But I bought a Collector Booster, I bought the bundle, I bought the starter kit, or I pre-ordered them.
You're like, they got my money.
Yeah, so you guys will be seeing all this stuff as soon as I get it. You guys will be seeing it. And then we go to Modern Horizons 3. This is something I really don't care too much about. It is the Modern Horizons, the Commander Legends, all these things I really don't care too much about. I'm just going to be honest. This is just a me thing. It's a way for them to reprint stuff. It feels like I never really feel like we get new stuff. And when we do get new stuff, it's just so overly priced. I don't care anymore. But this is an interesting thing here. It says, unlike previous Modern Horizons sets, MH3 will feature double-faced cards, but not just any of them. We're going to bring back the cycle of cards which show the transformations of characters into Planeswalkers.
That's cool.
Yeah, so for a lot of people that don't know, when Planeswalkers first came out, or the origins, very beginnings of them, we started off where, and of course, Ajani is back for these. But what you would start off with is you would have like this card here, which would be the front of the card. It would just be a normal creature. Everything's normal. You do a certain thing, then he becomes a Planeswalker. And that was how they started. It wasn't like what we've seen more recently where you just get Planeswalkers. They used to be you start this way, then you turn into a Planeswalker.
God, it was like 2 sets ago that there was a lot of that. I can't remember what it was called. 2, 3 set, 4, 5 set.
We did March of the Machines did it because they were doing transformings from people to Phyrexians. They were Phyrexizing people. They were turning them into Phyrexians.
I couldn't remember the set.
So then we also get Tamiao in this as well, where she starts off as the student and now she's a scholar, right? And then this is the big one. So then they hint at this that they'll be showing more of this at MagicCon in Amsterdam, and for everybody that knows what the hell that is in the background, it wasn't a cool thing seeing this. I don't know if you've ever
get out of here. Enough of it.
I don't know if you've had the joy of the joy of playing against Eldrazi, but it is not fun. Emrakul, the world anew. That's right. Yeah, that's right. The Eldrazi's may be locked away, but they're still here.
Squids are in right now. What's the Overwatch right now? Who's that guy?
Yeah, they're doing Cthulhu, like a Cthulhu sort of thing.
That whole universe, that's super in right now, and other things.
Eldritch Horror, there we go. So we're getting full art Eldrazi cards, which you can see right here in the background, right here. They're full art, but they have Eldrazi's, just the Eldrazi Titans in the background of all the cards. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. For this, we're getting the fetch lands back. And we're getting 3 different treatments of them. There's the main version look of them. We're getting the borderless version, and then we're getting the old school retro frame, which I personally like because that's when I first started playing Magic. So
I love the retro stuff.
Yeah. So we're getting Bloodstained Mire. We're getting the Flooded Strands, Polluted Delta, Windswept Heath, and Wooded Footlands. So we're getting all the fetch lands. All the fetch lands are back. Here's the look at the cards. So this is how it will start. Is a Ajani. 1 colorless, 1 white. It's a 1/2, or he's a 1/2. When enters battlefield, create a 2/1 white cat warrior creature token. Whenever 1 or more other cats you control die, you may exile a Ajani, then return him to the battlefield, transformed under your control. And when he transforms and comes back, he is now a Planeswalker.
Cool.
So it's kind of going back to the old school version of it.
Kill that token, Planeswalker.
Yep. He comes in with 3 counters, +2, put 1/1 counters on each cat you control. So cat warrior deck's gonna go crazy. 0, create a 2/1 cat. When you do, if you control a red permanent other than Ajani, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. Kind of nasty.
No penalty for that. Yeah.
And then -4, each opponent chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, a planeswalker from among the permanents they control, then they sacrifice everything else.
Deck clear. The board clear. Okay.
Board clear other than 1 of everything, basically. I mean, the lands stay, and the fact that you can do that basically the second turn that he's out kind of makes him a big target straight off rip. But that's that, though. That's Modern Horizons. We're also getting some other cards. We're bringing back the energy set stuff. I don't know if you ever dealt with energy counters. Energy counters were from Kaladesh, which was like Kaladesh was when we first got like vehicles and gremlins. So when Scurrier Gremlins enters battlefield, create 2/1 gremlins. You would have liked the gremlins. They were just little annoying shits that just ate vehicles and just kind of annoying. So you create that, then you you get a number of energy counters equal to the number of creatures you control. Energy counter literally is that. It's just a counter. It's an energy counter. It doesn't go on anything. You can put them on things, but most of the time they're just there, sort of thing. Pay 4 energy counters, and creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste. And this is an enchantment, so just boom. And then here's the Eldrazi.
That's a cool card.
It that heralds the end. 1 colorless and 1 waste. So that symbol there is the wasteland. Eldrazi drone 2/2. Colorless spells you cast with a mana value of 7 or less cast 1 less to cast. Other colorless creatures you control get +1/+1. I hate Eldrazi so much. And then there's Emrakul. Costs 12. It's a 12/12. Emrakul is the big bad Eldrazi. He's the dude.
12.
When you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. That's the first line, DeNutte. That's the first line. Flying, protection from spells, and from permanents that were cast this turn. When Emrakul leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. And then it has Madness, which is pay 6 waste. So yeah.
It's a lot.
She's back. And I don't want to say better than ever, but yeah. And then there's all the different treatments. So we're getting a main set version. We're getting a borderless concept version. A retro frame version. A foil-etched version, and then a serialized borderless concept Eldrazi version.
Is that 250?
Out of 250, yep. So, that's the other thing as well. I don't think they talk about this. How many more of these do I have? I got a couple more for this set, and then I can say it. And then we got Psychic Frog.
Very cool.
So we go from the thing that we just went to Psychic Frog, which is Dimir colors, blue-black. It's a 1/2 frog. When it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card. Discard a card, put a 1/1 counter on it. Exile 3 cards from your graveyard against flying until end of turn. Like, it's funny that they go, like, here's the most ridiculous broken card we've ever made, and we put it as an Eldrazi, too, because we hate people. To then we get this.
Let me look that. He's been looking. He's been, like, getting high on his own supply right there. He looked himself.
This version I love.
Yeah, that's very cool.
But yeah, no, so we got Psychic Frog. Flare of Cultivation, 2 green and a colorless. Sorcery, you may sacrifice a non-token green creature rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Search your library for 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards, put 1 into the battlefield tapped, the other into your hand. And then yet again, just showing us that we're getting 3 different versions. We're getting a main set, a borderless frame break, and the retro frame. I like the borderless frame breaks, how they just kind of like go into the card. It's such a cool look. It is. Yeah. I know it's more money for them because then they can just but it's just such a cool look.
You're like, but you're getting me.
You got me. Priests of Titania, Titania. 1 colorless, 1 green. It's a 1/1 elf, but you get to tap it and add 1 forest for each elf on the battlefield.
That truly looks like a retro card, too.
Yeah, it does look like a retro card. And the wording of it is just broken, because it doesn't say on your side of the field, it just says the battlefield. So you have 2 elf decks going at it, have fun. And then we get this one, which is Lelia.
Looks like the girl from Moana.
Oh.
The island.
Yes, it does, now that you say that. This is apparently a popular commander and cube card, which will now be able to be played in. 2 colorless and a red, 2/2 haste. When it attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from your library and or your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on her. And then we got 3 different versions: main, borderless profile, and the foil etched. I really like these borderless profile ones.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, it's funny because I get a feeling that like a lot of people don't like borderless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got to preserve our fundamentals.
Yes, I like the side profile because there's one that's there's an Urza that's like this, and I just
Yeah.
really like the look of the card. I would like to get it, but I think it's expensive. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's
Probably
expensive. The one thing though, because the next thing that we go into is Outlaws of Thunder Junction. The one thing that they didn't show with a lot of this stuff is they have been releasing some of this stuff, or it got leaked. One of the two. There are commander decks for everything that I just showed you for Modern Horizons. And the crazy thing is, DeNutte, is that there's 2 different versions of the pre-con commander decks.
Is there a full foil version and a normal version?
There's a normal version, and then there was what they are calling a collector's version, which is basically a secret lair version. So it is all foil, all special treatmented. So I can only imagine how much that's going to be.
Well, it's like Warhammer did that.
Yes.
With their sets.
I think this is to a different, like the next step even on top of that.
Secret lair treatment.
Yeah. So it's like
A buddy of mine has a couple of the secret lair decks.
Oh yeah.
And I've yet to see them. I'm probably going to see them coming in the coming weeks. Okay. I'm pretty interested in that.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Outlaws of Thunder Junction is the next set we are getting. And it is a Western set.
I'm excited for this one. I'm excited to see what we have for this.
This is the one that's kind of was interesting because, like I was saying, there's some sets like, honestly, the last 2 sets kind of were meh to an extent.
From what I'm seeing, this most recent set is people's like least favorite set.
Yeah,
ever.
It for me personally, I was like, cool, murder mystery, that sounds cool. Nothing caught me, and when I stopped playing was right at the end of the original Ravnica block. Like when Ravnica first came out, right at the end of it, that's when I stopped playing. And this is going back to Ravnica. So I was excited about that. Seeing some of the cards, like Tessa still being there, seeing some of the other characters, like Aurelia, it's like, cool. These are characters I know. But outside of that, though, I didn't give 2 shits about. I bought the collector booster, or I bought the freaking bundle, I bought a collector booster, and I was like, I opened them both, and I was like, okay, sure.
You're like,
So Outlaws of Thunder Junction is a new Magic plane for players as well as Magic characters. The Omnipaths opened this plane for players and characters for across the multiverse, and they're rushing to Thunder Junction to find their fortunes. Mark tells that this is a set dedicated to villains. Whole set dedicated to villains. And we get a look at kind of some of the stuff. So this is the main. This right here is the main image that we are being seen everywhere, and it's showing the team. The team of villains that have been put together. Obviously with Okos being the main ringleader of the group, which we will see here in a second. We get Hard Bristle Bandit, which is kind of hilarious looking fellow here. It's a cactus dude as a cowboy.
very cool.
Right? We get Colossal Rattleworm. Yet again, really freaking cool looking.
Those are huge. What do they call those? Tumbleweeds. It's tumbleweed.
Yeah. And it's just like how do you make green in the desert? Well, here we go. Right. Free Strider Commando. It is a centaur with guns.
Okay.
Like I said, this set just seems like it's going to be a blast because out of all the things, most of the time it always feels like the same thing, right? Western, like futuristic, and space.
Ninja,
the 3 sets, right? Like we kind of want to see. We got futuristic with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and that was actually a pretty
cool set.
Very cool set.
Yeah.
Now we're getting our cowboy set, and it looks like a really cool set just from what I'm about to show you guys. And then I think it's in a year, maybe 2, we're getting a space set where we go to space. Okay. So,
well, they had the whole full space set with the Infinity.
Yeah, with Infinity. Yeah.
That kind of
So, cowboy. So then we get here. So now this is the Western Landscape Basics.
Oh, I like it has all the symbols. Like,
so
kinda...
it's interesting because it says that these are. It doesn't say full art. Which makes me wonder, are we getting rid of the basic lands where it just has the symbol here?
So we're moving towards almost full art, non-full art cards.
I'm wondering if that's if we're just gonna be getting full art lands, period. Now, because I would love that.
I just picked up this stack of cards in front of me that I didn't see, and there was a land that made me laugh. This one, because it's just like kind of the same thing. Yeah. Mountain.
like that I would like. I would like that more than it being just like it's saying mountain and it's just the little image and everything. I would love the full art lands like that. But the interesting thing with this though is like as you can see it says Western Landscape. It doesn't actually show you the symbol. The symbols are just in the actual landscape themselves.
Yeah.
Which is really a cool thing. I dig
I like
this.
the black. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they look dope. So here we go. This is the first. Let's get to looking at it. So the middle one, so the wanted poster. I'll just let me go here real quick because like I said, I have it set up for not being full screen. But yeah, so we have Okos here. Then we get a look at the wanted poster version, and then we get the borderless version. So Okos the ringleader, 2 colorless, a green and a blue. Starts off with 3 loyalty counters. At the beginning of combat in your turn, Okos the ringleader becomes a copy of copy of up to 1 target creature you control, except he has hexproof. So every turn he becomes a creature that's just hexproof based. Dope. +1 counter. Draw 2 cards. Hold up a second. Wait a minute. I've yet to read these cards, just so everyone knows. I've seen them, but I have yet to read them. So this is my first time reading them. Then the reason why I'm like, hold up a second, is because of the wording of this. Draw 2 cards. This is for +1 counter. Draw 2. If you've committed a crime this turn,
okay,
discard a card. Otherwise, discard 2.
So what is the crime like?
So we're getting a crime mechanic.
Yeah. What? Okay.
-1.
Steal cards from the other person. What's the
-1 counter? Create a 3/3 green elk. Love it. -5 for each other non-land permanent you control. Create a token that's a copy of that permanent. Holy shit!
ringleader?
Yeah, sick card. I like it. But yet again, like I said though, this is my first time reading it. So
love that wanted card because that feels like a secret layer card.
Yes. This like I love the showcase cards because the showcase cards I feel like do a fantastic job with the sets. Some of them are better looking than others, right?
Yeah.
Like the Phyrexian showcases being in Phyrexian, awesome, right? This past one with the clue sets where they just looked like, like it was whatever. Wanted poster, dope.
Because that looks like a secret layer card.
Yes.
Like that looks like it's its own, like, yeah.
Hell to pay. Sorcery. X and then red. Hell to pay deals X damage to target creature. Create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to that creature this way. So if you pay an extra 10 to kill a 2/2, you get 8 treasure tokens. That's kind of cool. Money.
So treasure's back, which makes sense if it's a stealing. There's a stealing mechanic.
Tana Bones, the pickpocket.
Oh, let's zoom in on that. Okay, cute. I'm gonna steal your shit.
Death Touch 1/1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. That's pretty sick.
That's cool.
And he has a little wanted version too, which is dope.
That's fun. Yeah. Colorless.
So this is part of this. This is the team right here. This is Okos's team. This is just a me thing, okay? And because of course DeNutte knows the cards, knows kind of things that are happening. Kellen has been in every goddamn set because he's trying to find his daddy.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Okos is his dad, and he's been trying to find him. But
Okos?
Okos was the ringleader, the first one. Yes. He's an Eldraine card, so we got him back in Eldraine, which means we've gone Eldraine, Ixalan.
You just turned your head, and I completely forgot you had shaved your head, and I went.
What happened?
I was like, where'd it go?
So basically, Kellen's been bouncing around between worlds for the last 3 sets, trying to find his dad.
Daddy, where'd you go?
But because he's been bouncing around each set, they've just been adding him to each set, and I'm just sick and tired of seeing him. So Kellen is Kellen the kid.
That's a grown-ass man.
And he's here. So Kellen's a part of the group. Vraska, the silencer, mommy's home. She's back. She was one of the ones that got Phyrexianized.
She's a Medusa.
So it'll be interesting to see how her role in this is going to be.
Okay.
Because of all the stuff that she did when she was a Phyrexian. And her and Jace were kind of doing things, and then the last thing I showed you of Jace was that he was now an animal. So it'll be interesting, but yes, like I don't know what you can see of it. Okay, good. You can't see kind of what I'm saying. Good. Yes, Rakdos, the muscle. Rakdos is this is the leader. This is the guild leader for Rakdos, the guild on Ravnica. He's just come here just to fuck shit up, apparently.
So it's like they're Ren Fair.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what his card is, because we just had him in the last set too. So, and then this is the newest character out of all of them. The other ones are all old ones. This is the newest one. New character of that says Annie. Wait, Annie Flash. Hold up a second. Okay, Annie Flash. So Annie Flash, a new character of an Atian.
Annie loves her turquoise. That's all I gotta say.
A nomadic people based on the Navajo, developed with cultural consultants.
Yeah, turquoise. Definitely. Yeah.
It looks cool. The veterans. So it's like, I'm intrigued to see more about this character.
I like it. I like her jacket a lot.
Yeah, I think it looks dope.
Yeah.
Then we get this. So this is the bonus sheets. There's a crime bonus sheet of cards, which has two bonus sheets. There's crime bonus sheet of cards which help you commit crimes in the set. These are similar to previous sets, with one of the cards appearing per that text. Okay.
This is one of the few. I'm not going borderless. I like the regular card.
Yeah, I'm confused after reading that right there. But yeah, so what?
Did you zoom on that?
What?
On just the text.
What do you mean?
Just on the card itself.
Oh, this one looks better.
Yeah, I know. Can you? I want to read it.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry.
Thoughtseize. Cost. So the only thing I don't like is it's really hard to tell mana value. But 1 black. Sorcery. Target player reveals the hand. You choose an online card from it. They discard. You lose 2 life. Then we get the breaking news version, which is from the Prosperity Post, or you get the textured foil version, which, like DeNutte said, this version looks better. Mind you, this is our genuine opinion, but our opinion is right and yours is wrong.
Our opinion is in stone.
And then we get this one. So, yes, commit crimes. Commit crimes. So, here's more crimes from the Prosperity
Textured
News.
foil is cooler this time.
So, we have two of them. So, you can either play this card or you can play this card. I don't know if you've seen these or not, or if you've...
I have seen I have a couple of them for some. I can't remember what they are. It's been so long ago.
So, crime is 3 color. See, this, like I said, this is tough to see, bro. 3 colorless, a white and black. Put target creature or enchantment card from an opponent's graveyard on the battlefield under your control. Punishment. X, black or green. Destroy to each artifact, creature, and enchantment with a mana value of X. So there's the breaking news version, and there's the textured foil version. Like DeNutte said, I agree with him. This version just looks better. It's easier to read, and the image itself looks better. And you can see the
values. Yeah. Sure, yeah.
This one looks better.
That's a very cool card.
Yes. Sword of Wealth and Power. Let me see, right there. This is, I do believe this is a new one, but I could be wrong here. The second bonus sheet is the Vault. So there's 2 different, so that's what it is. There's 2 different, like, they're doing, like, bonus sheets as in, like, another version of a showcase. So, like, we have, like, the showcase, the wanted, the this, the that, the this, the that, and then there's these ones. The other ones are on over to the right side. I haven't gotten to them yet. But still, so there's, like, multiple different, like, just art versions of these. Originally, the set was going to have an epilogue set called The Big Score. But instead, we've moved them into the set with a bonus sheet. These cards represent items found in the Vault, which Oko and his gang are after. So they're originally going to do an Aftermath set, like an epilogue set like March of the Machines Aftermath, and then that tanked because it was such a shit set. So then they were like, oh, never mind, we're not going to do that.
Hey, cards looked cool, but I mean, that's about it.
Yeah.
Every time you're saying that name, I keep thinking Ocho Cinco.
No, when I say Oko?
Yeah,
that's
Ocho.
funny. Ocho Cinco. It's a Sword of Wealth and Power, three colorless equipment artifact. A creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from instants and sorceries. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose a new target for the copy. The interesting thing for me with this is the imagery on it. There's something about the imagery here that makes me think. I don't know if it makes me think of the Tyranids for Warhammer.
Okay, it feels out of the set. It doesn't feel like
right.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like of this set.
We get main set, we get extended art, and then here's the vault versions of it. The vault versions of it are fine. They don't make me think of something. It's the base version that makes me think of, like, is this the next baddie, the big bad that we're going to be going up against sort of thing? Because it doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right. And then we got Nexus of Becoming, which is the final, I think it's the final thing. Nope, we got one after this. 6 colorless. But yet again, look at this. It looks like there's something like a golem or a creature or something here, right? Like,
it's not. Yeah.
So, at the beginning of your combat, on your turn, draw a card. Then you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand. If you do, create a token that's a copy of exile card, except it's a 3/3 golem, in addition to its other types. So, just another cool card. And then the final card they showed us was Flipper Flop. Flipple Flop.
Cute little card.
Flip. Lost on the range. Little homunculus homie.
Yeah.
Two blue and a colorless. He has Ward 2. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. The top card of your library has Plot. The plot cost is equal to its mana cost. You may plot non-land cards from the top of your library as a 1/1.
He looks like a dude. He's literally like, I was on vacation. I don't know what happened.
I was somewhere and then I came
his little
here.
mushrooms next to him are his suitcases. He's like, I don't know what's going
on. Yeah, so that's all of the stuff from MagicCon 2024 previews. Anyway, the plot is going to be something else that we get into eventually, but that's all the news that they gave us. So
very cool.
I'm very excited. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I'm excited for the next coming set. I'm interested to see how the Assassin's Creed set plays out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm most excited for, it's the Fallout in like 10 days.
Yep. I don't want to get into the Fallout stuff because we will eventually hear.
Yep. But on the 8th, I'm going to a Commander Night.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to hear about his Commander Night and how that goes. I'm excited to see more of the cards. I'm not a big Fallout guy. But I did buy a collector booster, so I'm excited to see what I get from
my buddy who I'm going with. He's like, I started playing New Vegas, and I don't know why I didn't like him before, but he's like, I'm really loving New Vegas. He texted me this last night. He's like, this game is actually really fun.
That's awesome. I mean, that's just good to hear. Whenever you hear like that sort of stuff, that's just good to hear.
Oh, because he's like, this whole set. I think it's because the whole set's coming out. He's like, I'll give it another try, because he was a big Skyrim guy. I specifically went with him to the Skyrim earlier, the midnight release. I remember that. I think that was the last midnight release I went to.
I was going to say, when was the last midnight release I went to was the final Batman Arkham game, Arkham Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the last one I went to, because I traded in like $130 worth of stuff, so I could get like the full expansion of it and like a bunch of other shit as well.
So that was 11/11/11. Yeah. It was almost 13 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, was that long ago? Jesus.
Yeah.
I think that this was another. They do these previews for MagicCon. I think it's a very good one. I'm very, like I said, I'm very intrigued to see. I'm trying to get just something up on the screen here real quick. There, and then let's see if I can get this to work again. Oh, you don't want to work now?
Nuh-uh. No, not working today.
Apparently not. Let's just do that, and then let's go that. There we are. Boom. Just so I can get it up. But yeah, so like I said, these are the next 4 sets that we have. In order from Thunder Junction, Modern Horizons, Assassin's Creed, Bloomburrow. I pre-ordered 3 of the 4. I'm not doing Modern Horizons.
Yeah, I could tell you what you're like. I'm done with these giant things.
I do. I just the Eldrazi. I can't. One of the times I came back, my buddy Booba Nick. For everyone out there, you guys have seen him on the podcast before.
Shout out to Nick.
You know Nick. You know of Nick. He has an Eldrazi deck, and it's the most annoying shit to play against. I sent him a message and I said, "Hey, they're making more Eldrazi." He goes, "Oh, I know. I'm already looking into it. I know. Don't you worry." Like it was already like one of those things. Like he found out about it, and
he's like, "Oh, I'm back in, dog.
Yeah,
I'm full in."
So I hate the Eldrazi, man. The Eldrazi are just oh my god. I'm excited for. I want to see how the Outlaws of Thunder Junction one plays. I want to see more about the crime and the plot and like the in-game mechanics more than anything, because it is one of those things where like we're starting to get to the point now where we're, when's the last time you saw something that it was an ability and you had to like try to figure out what it was, because there's so many new abilities now, right? We're starting to get to that point where I feel like they just need to start ramping back on them, and now I feel like we're ramping up more on them because we're getting crime, we're getting plot, we're getting free running with the Assassin's Creed.
And then, having never really, I never played any of my Lord of the Rings decks, actually. I never got to it. And now that I think about it, I don't even know, like, the Ring of Power mechanics.
Yeah. So it's like, there's so many mechanics that are just being added to the game more and more and more. It's going to get to a point where, like, most people won't know what the mechanics are.
Yeah. Coming in as a new player is, like, very daunting. Even, like, when I did it, I was like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know what the difference between all these things are. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what is a set booster? What's this draft booster? What's like, how do I start? Like, and then, so my buddy who I was mentioning before, he really wants to get into Pioneer.
Pioneer's an interesting form.
Yeah. So,
interesting.
So it's just, there's like, you're like, where do I start? You're like, well, Standard's like only 60 cards, but like Commander's the most popular right now. And it's just like, you're just like, I don't, where do you start?
It's funny as well, because it's like, Commander was a set made by the people. Like, I don't know if you know that or not. Commander had nothing to do with Magic. Mm-hmm. Like, it was the fans that made Commander. And then Magic saw how much money that was being made on the side of it, and then that's when they started making precons and all that. Because it used to be every set used to have starter decks. Like, base 60 cards, standard, like, here's your starter deck. And then
now all you can find is Commander decks.
Exactly. They went away from it because everybody plays fucking Commander now. So it's like,
it's also like, say you are a new player and they're like, oh, just get a bunch of singles, build a deck. You know how hard it is to build a Commander deck?
Oh, like I said, so for everyone that doesn't know, I've been playing on and off Magic since Odyssey. And I'm trying to squeeze my hand into a tight hole over here, giggity.
Nice.
But just to show, so like I've been playing on and off since Odyssey. So when you used to buy the fat packs, or they used to be called fat packs, the bundles, you used to get a physical book. This is the story of Magic right here. Like 300 odd pages, the full story of what happens in the set. I've been playing on and off since Odyssey. I'm still having problems making a Commander deck.
Yeah. When you think about it, you more or less you gotta come up with 70 cards that like work together.
Yeah.
And they can't be a duplicate. You can't have a duplicate. You have to build it around a certain card. Like, you have
to build around certain cards, and then it's one of those things where it's like you look online and you like try to like have like quote unquote someone to help or something to help, and it's like, okay, so here's the 15 that you have to have, because if you don't have them, then you're just gonna lose immediately.
Yeah,
and it's like one of those things. It's like, what does that even mean?
Here's a good starter Commander deck you can build, and you look at and you're like, what's the cost of it? They're like $90, and you're like, that's what you're like.
Yeah,
whoa. You're like,
time.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, now I'll just get a precon, and like precons are fine.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like getting started in Magic, I definitely feel like is a tough thing. The starter decks coming out with those every now and then, I think is good. The problem is I'm starting to see them with only big, I'm going to say quote unquote big Universe Beyond sets.
Yeah, because I mean the last one we got was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, which I mean was fine. I've said it,
Yeah, it's good set.
For everyone here that does check out the streams and everything. Big John, him and his daughter play with the Commander with the starter decks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he got her
Cool.
playing with the starter decks, and she whipped him a couple times.
Yeah.
From what he told me, which was just hilarious, by the way. Just thinking of her, whipping up on Big John.
Hmm.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Magic is in such a weird spot. I feel like because we are adding so many new things. The universes beyond are adding so many new things, but the game is becoming more and more difficult, more and more. Like there's so many new things every set. So
It's
many.
all, I guess I would say nuanced, but it's like, dude, if you don't know, like, it's tough. It's tough, and that's like it's daunting because like, my girlfriend's still learning, and like, I want to play Arena, but I don't like getting shit on every game.
Well, that's the thing. Is like you go to play in person.
Yeah.
Everybody has their power ratings. Oh well, it's a 7.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's only a 3. You know, that sort of thing. I'm sitting there like I don't know what the hell these things mean, man. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm trying to. So the deck I'm trying to make for everyone out there is I'm trying to make a white Aven deck because I love the Avens from back in Odyssey block. You know how hard it is to make to make just a strictly white bird deck around one creature type that's specifically like the birds that have like arms and legs. Like it is incredibly difficult. So it's like cool. I have to add blue to this.
Yeah, you have to. You can't.
Like I can't do a solo. Like it's not a soldier deck. If I did a white soldier deck, then I'd be fine.
I was starting to do a white human deck,
Yeah.
which that sounds awful saying that out loud. But, anyways, that was like kind of simple, but it doesn't have any like variation.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
But it's like it's one of those things where
that
it's
sounded awful saying that out loud.
welcome to Magic the Gathering. It's just it's tough because like you do that and it's like okay cool, then you go in and you play someone. It's like all right, well turn 1 I'm gonna play this, 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 I'm gonna tap this, I'm gonna play that, I'm gonna search, I'm gonna do this, and then it's like okay, now it's my turn. I'm gonna play one land. And
it is funny because like I've played a few like I was playing having commander nights with like a group of friends, and there would be whole games where like one of us would not pull a single land for like 10 turns.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, fuck, dude. So it's like...
So you go from that element of playing Commander to then Arena. Where Arena is, you see one of 5 decks. 90% of the game.
It's truly a meta experience with the... Yeah, and it's like... And those people aren't spending money on real cards. They're all spending money on digital cards. That may not necessarily be true, but like...
I mean, you can, though. That's the thing. It's like, it's... Yeah. I mean, it's for me, because I play Arena every now and then. I stopped playing Arena this season because I don't care about the set, so I'm not playing it right now. When Outlaws, the Thunder Junction come out, I'll probably play. When Bloomburrow comes out, I'm probably going to heavily play, right?
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, there's... I already forgotten the name of the card, but it's a white life gain card where it's like, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, gain 1 life. Not on your side of the field, just in the field general. And it's like, as soon as I see people play that, I leave. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to do this. And then like, you get people that take 5 minutes for their turn. I'm over exaggerating, mind you, but still, it feels like 5 minutes.
You're not. Just... Like there's a time limit, and then it burns down, and then right gets the end, they'll do something. It's like they're trying to make you quit.
I will. I'll quit. If you play me on Arena, if you see my name appear on Arena, you need to play either life gain. I will quit immediately. If I see 1 card, I'm not joking. I see the 1 card, I leave. I'm out.
Are poison counters still heavy on Arena right now?
They can be. They can be. It all depends. I mean, it's life gain. Life gain. Shrine is a big one. There's a bunch of them where it's just like I wait until like turn 3, and then like I have a combo that pops off, and then you lose. Yeah. Scuttle Swarm, I see a decent amount of. And what was the last one? There was another one that was just really freaking annoying.
But it's like, so one of your cards are so small with like standard, and then you can have like 4 of each. You're way quicker to get like a strategy that you want. Whereas like commander, it's like a long played out thing where it may not work, may not work. But like standard, you're trying to get like your 1 or 2 strategies in.
Oh yeah, because I mean I don't really play I play more historic than anything these days.
Yeah.
Just because I can then play whatever the hell I want, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right. But it's the same thing though. It's like I have 4 of the card because it works. So it's like when you go from that to then commander, where it's like, oh yeah, you can't have 4 of that card. So you have to find 4 of that card that isn't that card but is that card. So it's like, all right, cool. I got 17 different counter spells, but they're all not counter spell. Like,
I've really been tossing around the idea while we've been talking. Like maybe I'll finally go for a Nazgul deck.
I love it. I have an Osgood deck.
You do? Because I already have 4.
So not well. Let me phrase it. Not in person.
Not in person.
On
Okay. Yeah,
Arena,
no,
I have
person,
an Osgood deck.
In person, I already have 4.
I have 2. I have 2 now.
So, for me, I'm like, well, I'm already more than halfway right
So
there.
it's funny. So it's funny you said. Kind of slowly wrap this up. That's one of the next commander decks I want to make.
Okay.
It's a Lord of the Rings. Nothing else. No cards from anything else. Just Lord of the Rings.
Which is doable. There's a ton of cards.
Sauron is my commander.
Okay.
And it's just baddies. That's it.
Very cool. Cool.
That's all I want to do. Is just I want to make it. I want like there is no like WinCon. There is no this. There is no that. It is just I am the bad guys of Lord of the Rings. Done. And that's it. That's the one that I want to make. I have, like I said, I've got a bunch of the cards now of it. I just need to slowly but surely get the other ones. It's just that slowly and surely part, you know. But for me personally, like to go back, I'm very excited for Bloomburrow. It's at the end. Towards the end of the year. It's the second to last set that we get this year. That's the one I'm most excited about.
Very cool.
For me. I'm excited for all of them.
It's like your aesthetic, even just like the art style that you like for the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the art style I like. It's the creature type heavy. Yeah, it's like color based, so it's like okay, cool. So when I draft it, I can just draft and go, okay, I'm going red blue, I'm going red white, I'm going mouse, and then I just stick to it. Done. That's it. No changing up, no nothing. Boom, done. Right. It's very heavy for me personally, so I love that. I'm excited to try all of them, other than the second one. I'll probably get a couple of singles from it if there's anything cool, but outside of that, yeah. But let us know down in the comments, what's your favorite underrated commander? How about that?
Okay.
What's your favorite underrated commander, and which one of these are you most excited for? And I swear to God, if you say Modern Horizons, we're banning you.
You're out.
You're out.
You're out.
But
John, you're out. No,
John.
What was his name?
Nick's out.
No, Nick's you're out.
Nick's out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw a wild one here at you guys for it. Like this is the commander for my Avon deck, and it is the dumbest thing because it doesn't make any sense. But it is Lieutenant Qatar.
Okay.
Lieutenant Qatar is 2 white and a colorless. He is a 2/2 flyer, bird soldier legend.
Okay.
But I tap one colorless, 1 white, and I can sacrifice him to remove target attacking creature from the game.
Fuck him.
It's gone. And if it's it's my commander, right?
Yeah.
So I do that. He's gone. I just bring him back next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that however many times I want as long as they have the land.
Fuck him.
Yeah. So that's mine. How about you?
I don't have one off the top of my head.
That's the only real commander thing that I have. So
let's Goblin King.
I love it. I also still have that Goblin card for you as well, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to get my eggs in a row because I have not done anything with my magic cards.
This thing is like what we said. Like I said, trying to wrap this up. But after the Lord of the Rings set, I feel like it just kind of just.
But I feel like that's for a lot of people though.
Yeah. I don't think it's just us.
I could be completely wrong, but
yeah, because because if I look up here, Lord of the Rings, Eldraine, then this one, Ixalan. Yeah. So Eldraine was kind of a cool set, but at the same time, meh. Ixalan was kind of a cool set.
I got a booster. I got a fat pack from that one.
Yeah, I like this. Is like they're all kind of like this set's kind of cool, but meh. It's cool, but meh.
I literally have all the cards from the Wilds Eldraine in front of me. I got from that fat pack.
It is interesting how we went the whole Phyrexian invasion sort of thing with Lord of the Rings, like massive up, and then it's just been down since. So, but like we said, let us know which ones you guys are most excited for, right? All this other stuff, and as always, right, depending on where you are, morning, afternoon, even night, stay out, stay safe, and we talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.